Well, I thought an old pro like yourself might have some training camp tricks, drills, insights to offer up, give us the competitive edge.
All right. Relatively simple. You need a tune-up game.
Tune-up game?
Yeah, in college we start every season against Appalachian State or some slack Division II team. Kick the living shit out of them. Get their confidence up.
Building our hopes upon a great tradition, speaking the language of a brave new year, telling the world about a new day dawning, spreading the spirit of a mountaineer. Students and teachers, best in the country, loyal alumni, we've got a lot. Southern as a rocket, proud as a peacock, Appalachian is hot, hot, hot. Hot, 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 hot. Appalachian is hot, hot, hot. Come and let us show you what we've got. Come and let us show you what we're hot, hot, hot. Even when the weather is cold, 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 Appalachian is hot, hot, hot.
They're lining up outside of sold-out Finley Stadium on a chilly night in Chattanooga as two first-time finalists in the 1AA National Championship game look to freeze a moment in time. The biggest game in school history for both Appalachian State and Northern Iowa. The Mountaineers from Boone, North Carolina won the Southern Conference and are the #2 seed in the 16-team playoff. Appalachian State played all 3 of its postseason games at home, beating Lafayette, Southern Illinois, and then last week, Furman. Sanders to throw. And the ball's out! And it's picked up by Hunter! Jason Hunter, touchdown, Appalachian State! An unbelievable shift in momentum here in Chattanooga in the national title game.
And Jason Hunter has been the most dominant player on the field tonight. That ball just slips out, and he's in the right spot with his great speed.
And they're going to run on 3rd and 6, and Richardson is going to get the first down. And that should do it. They should be able to take a knee 3 times and secure a national championship. And the Mountaineers reach the mountaintop for the first time in history. They are national champions in 1AA football in 2005.
Coming off the school's first ever national championship, Appalachian State continues its stand on the Division 1AA mountaintop. Again ruling the Southern Conference and ranked #1 in the nation. Today, the Mountaineers face bitter rival and completely revamped Georgia Southern in a key Southern Conference showdown.
And it should be a fantastic game. You know, Appalachian State starts off their season losing a tough one to NC State, but since has reeled off 6 straight wins. They regained that top spot last week as the #1 team in 1AA.
The Mountaineers play a dominating defense, but they also play a spread option offense now run by a true freshman quarterback, Armani Edwards, who has taken over for the quarterback who started in last year's national championship game.
And you're referring to Trey Elder, had some shoulder problems, came back too quickly. Enter the true freshman, Carl Armani Edwards, an impact freshman. 1,000 yards passing, almost 400 rushing, 13 total touchdowns. Only played the position a year and a half in high school at Greenwood, South Carolina. Very exciting player. They love to get him on the edge.
And Edwards again wants to throw, but again gets flushed. Runs inside the 10, puts his head down at the goal line. Touchdown, Armani Edwards.
Here's what a great quarterback can do for you. Watch Armani Edwards, the speed to get outside. Look at the juke on Jason Earwood. And then to finish the run with the power to get in the end zone.
The freshman quarterback from the shotgun wants to throw. In the air, has a man in Mayfield. First down yardage and much more. Breaking a tackle and running for daylight. Inside the 20, William Mayfield with a touchdown that answers Georgia Southern score. William Mayfield. And you can see beyond the conference stakes for Appalachian, they're the #1 team in the nation in 1AA and the defending national champions. Appalachian trying to win the game with its defense right here. Clark from the pocket, throws incomplete. That's the ball game. The defense stood the charge. The offense missed some opportunities, and in the end, top-ranked Appalachian gets it done in double overtime.
This ESPN presentation of college football on ABC is brought to you by Best Buy. It's a #2 ranked Wolverines of Michigan, perfect at 7-0. The Hawkeyes appear to be their biggest road bump on their way to Columbus on November 18th. The Big Ten standings, we talked about Michigan being up on top. Well, now Ohio State's on top. Along with them, 4-0 and 4-0, 8-0 for Ohio State. 4 more touchdown passes for Troy Smith today. On 1st and goal, it's Mike Hart. Hart straight up the middle. Touchdown! He'll use all that clock he can use. And he'll give it to 20. And Mike cuts back inside the 5. Touchdown! Michigan! Mike Hart, second of the day. Michigan was almost under the radar. Started the season ranked number 14. All of a sudden, here they are. They're about ready to be 8-0. They're going to be #2 in the country again next week. And the only team above them is Ohio State, their hated rival that they play on November 18th.
So much you remind us of the 1997 season.
So Michigan goes to 8-0 as the final seconds tick off in Ann Arbor, 20-6.
So, in about 5.5 hours, an Ohio State-Michigan collision that is identical to dozens of others in many ways, but also very different. It's the first ever 1-versus-2 collision in this rivalry. To the winner, an unprecedented 50-day wait until the BCS championship game in Glendale, Arizona. The consolation prize, perhaps, is a traditional carrot, the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. The Wolverines arrive with a chip on their shoulder, carried from that preseason ranking of number 14. They've handled Notre Dame and Wisconsin, their only losses. They've trailed only 17 minutes all year. Their defense, #1 against the run.
And at the very top of any list of rivalries stands this one, Michigan, Ohio State, and they both come in unbeaten, ranked #1 and #2 in the country. With White leading the way, breaking free again, touchdown Ohio State. This time it's Antonio Pittman. Hart stopped. Can't be stopped. Touchdown this time for Michigan, his 3rd. He's going to fire for it. End zone. Got it. Touchdown. Goes back to Robisky. Brian Robisky. Ohio State will play for a national championship. The Buckeyes beat their arch rival again.
And now we're ready to decide a champion here in Chattanooga. Will it be UMass or will it be Appalachian State for a 2nd straight year? True freshman now at quarterback for the Mountaineers in Monty Edwards.
Yeah, true freshman, but he runs the same offense, and he reminds me an awful lot of Pat White at West Virginia. Quick feet, left-handed, knows how to get it done and makes good decisions, but Trevor, he doesn't do it alone.
No, he's got his running back, Kevin Richardson, who only had heard of Appalachian State in high school because he saw it in a video game. But he liked them in a video game, walked on as a 6th-string running back, went on to be the record holder of most career rushing records at Appalachian State, and this year, the Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Year.
1st and goal at the 2. Richardson for his 4th touchdown. Yes! Touchdown, Appalachian State!
Well, remember how Youngstown State and Georgia Southern dominated in the 90s? Appalachian State, this might be your team in the years ahead. 2 in a row coming up for them. 10, biggest throw of the season for Appalachian State.
Cone looking deep, intercepted. It's Corey Lynch. Appalachian State remains atop the college football mountain, back-to-back national titles for Jerry Moore and the Mountaineers.
The Michigan Wolverines will once again be a powerhouse with their eyes on the national championship, which is exactly the reason 3 of their top players have returned for their senior year.
You did mention Michigan being at the top like they always are, and 3 seniors came back. Chad Henne, Mike Hart, Jake Long. They have incredible offense when you throw Mario Manningham in there as well. Is it the best offense in the country?
I don't know if it's the best offense in the country. I think that USC probably has something to say about that, but I think clearly in the Big Ten.
Michigan is going to be a prohibitive favorite to win the league. Now in offense, Chad Henne or I think tailback Michael Hart could win the Heisman Trophy. Mario Manningham is going to be a high draft choice and is probably the best receiver in the Big Ten.
It should be smooth sailing for Lloyd Carr and his Wolverines. Come January, Michigan will be right in the thick of the national title picture.
Now, Appalachian State is a good 1AA team. They won a couple of championships, but they got to visit the Big House.
So you're giving him a chance today in the Big House?
No.
Chad Henne could set a record today, and let's say take him out of the game. He's got all his weapons back. Michigan will have the best offense this year in the Big Ten because of Hart running the football, Henne throwing, and also this is a team I think we keep talking about. They're on a mission collectively. What starts today against poor old Appalachian State.
Yeah.
What we've designed here is for 4 your non-conference games, cupcakes for you. I'm so tired. You've been telling me for 12 years about playing easy teams. The bottom line is there's different agendas here when it comes to non-conference. You have an athletic director who wants to pay off the budget. We understand that. We appreciate those concerns. You have a head coach, my friend, who wants to get the easy win. Then you have players and fans who want to see Virginia Tech and LSU. They don't want to see Appalachian State. They don't want to see easy non-conference games. They want to see big-time games like Cal and Tennessee. I think athletic directors have to listen to the players, and I think it's a mixed bag. You don't have to have all your tough games in a non-conference, but at least one big-time opponent, maybe a second-tier opponent, and then a couple for Lee to have a couple cupcakes. But other than that, these 1AA teams should not be on the schedule for Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama. Teams like that have no business playing 1AA team.
We welcome you to the University of Michigan, the season opener. Appalachian State, the Mountaineers, come to the Big House to take on the University of Michigan Wolverines, and for the first time, the maize and blue take the field.
The all-time winningest program in college football history, over 107,000. Expectations always very high for head coach Lloyd Carr. In his 13th year, today coaches his 150th game at Michigan, looking for a second national championship. 2 national championships already in the hip pocket of Jerry Moore, the head coach at Appalachian State. He is in his 19th season, and today coaches his 300th game as a head football coach at the collegiate level. So Appalachian State on the road in the Big House, as nicknamed by the great Keith Jackson.
And the spread has already forced Michigan into more of a nickel look, 5 DBs.
3rd and 4, they cash in on the 3rd down, and maybe more. Off to the races, and going all the way to the end zone, the speedster Dexter Jackson. Michigan is going to the shotgun this year. Here comes a blitz, and down goes Henne. Off the corner comes Pierre Banks. Left tackle Apatelli was shaken up on that last play, and here's a reverse the other way. A good block, and to the end zone. Did he get in? No, shoved out of bounds, stepped out of bounds actually. And now 4 at the top of your screen. Slant, catch made, and that is a touchdown for the Mountaineers. An end over end punt. Jackson from his 30. Across the 40. And he is out of bounds at the 47, and looks like a late Michigan penalty. Through to the bottom of your screen. And the quick slant is Jackson. He'll run away from everybody. Touchdown, Appalachian State. And they are jumping up and down and celebrating on the Appalachian State sideline and in the crowd, and wouldn't you? Edwards going to keep it himself, and another first down. Inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. And now Edwards will find the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers! This electrifying sophomore quarterback. Well, the story in the first half of this is Armonte Edwards.
Totally. I mean, him and the spread offense that Michigan's not been able to solve. Which means that if Edwards pulls it down, he usually finds a lane.
Edwards in trouble. And the ball is loose. And the Wolverines have recovered. Hart again. And into the end zone is Mike Hart. And a chance to beat Ohio State, something this senior class has never done. A chance to win a Big Ten. And now Hart, the senior, still on his feet. Cuts it back the other way. Hart to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown!
Field goal puts you up 4. You miss it, you're still in the same spot.
1:35 to go. Edwards can really run, and he's off to the races. A big pickup, and he's out to the 45. Bear in mind now, 1:30 left to go. Appalachian State is out of timeouts. Second down, they're coming after Edwards. And he gets it away, caught by Corman, dances away from one tackler, down the sideline to the 40-yard line.
Brave will do it again.
Edwards rolling left, throws across the middle, caught by Hillary all the way to the 5-yard line. This is absolutely unbelievable. Julian Roush, the all-time leading scorer among kickers in Appalachian State history. This is for one of the greatest upsets in the history of college football. And it is good.
A lot of pressure on them. They can't let anyone behind them.
Penny steps up, puts it in the air down the sideline, looking for Manningham. A flag is down. He caught the ball at the 20-yard line. And now this, a big pass play to get Michigan a chance to win it. Here we go. They're going to kick the field goal. It'll be Jason Gingell.
Yard field goal. This is it. This is it right here.
Out of the hold of Mesco. Good snap. Good hold. And the kick is blocked. Appalachian State has stunned the college football world. One of the greatest upsets in sports history. Blocked by Corey Lynch.
Armani Edwards, if people didn't know your name before today, they sure do now. You had a nearly perfect first half, couple flub ups in the second half, but needless to say, your team came out and you just beat Michigan in one of the biggest upsets in college football history.
Yeah, you know, the second half we had a lot of mental mistakes because we was up, but we got back on it in the fourth quarter.
What a day, what a day. Charles, the biggest upset in the history of football for you, yes or no?
For me, yes. For me,
Let's
yes.
Send it back to Chicago. What a start on the Big Ten Network.
Well, what a way to kick off a network, huh? Welcome to our Big Ten Football Saturday post-game report. Dave Refson, Jerry DiNardo, and Howard Griffith. Absolutely one of the most stunning upsets you will ever see in college football.
The biggest upset in the history of college football.
Are you kidding me? That is the upset of the millennium.
Case in point, the University of Michigan still in stunned silence.
Get a load of Appalachian State.
Tiny Appalachian State, I said Appalachian State, defeated the University of Michigan on Saturday.
Appalachian State gear is selling like crazy in Columbus. Yeah, of course it is.
We can't find a team in the history of the AP poll that's ever lost to a team from a lower division like Appalachian State.
Doug, you and I have had some disappointing losses in our careers, and it's those games that you come back and how you live and play after those games that really defines you as a person and as a team.
It's how you respond to adversity. They pull together. This is where he finds his leaders. This is where Lloyd Carr finds the leaders in that locker room. This is a talented football team, and they will bounce back.
But for me, it's Lloyd Carr. And it's simply the fact that when you consider this Michigan team that was 0-2, the Appalachian State, which was the biggest upset in the history of college sports, and then they lose again to Oregon, this team had every ability to quit at that point. The fans, the alumni, people were calling for Lloyd Carr to step down, and yet he remained the general of that team. And look what's happened. They've won the rest of their games so far, undefeated since those first 2 games.
A lot of anticipation this week about Lloyd Carr. Would this be his final game? He's been very tight-lipped about that throughout the week, which is what you would expect from Lloyd Carr. And I don't know at the end of this game if he's going to make some kind of announcement saying that he is going to step down. Go back to 1997, winning a national championship, and he started great against his rival Ohio State. The last 6 or 7 years, it has not gone well. I just hope that the Michigan fan base realizes the entire body of work and what he has done here and the job that he's done and the way he's gone about approaching his job with these players.
And no matter, this is a bum year, and Michigan fans have a right to be upset about the way it started, the way it's ended, and I don't blame them. But when you look at the whole body of work, ladies and gentlemen, it is very positive for Lloyd Carr, and that's how he should be viewed, no matter what he decides.
Right there on the cusp in terms of attractiveness of the matchup. Lloyd Carr's final game going against Urban Meyer in Florida and the Heisman frontrunner, it would seem, in Tim Tebow.
The matchup itself, you touched on Lloyd Carr, this being his final chance to go out and coach Michigan. You got to wonder if this team's going to rally around that. They tried to rally around that against Ohio State. Didn't seem to work too well for them. See if they're healthy when they come back. See how the time off allows Mike Hart, the rest of this offense, to get in gear, especially the quarterback, Chad Henne. Michigan will come into this game a decisive underdog. Florida should win this game and win it big.
And I think the best way to defend Percy Harvin will be for the Michigan offense to stay on the field. And I expect to see a very aggressive Michigan offensive attack in this bowl game. I think they will be in attack mode against this Florida team today.
Michigan at this point is going to need a touchdown. Henne. Arrington. Oh, and
he caught it right off of Marquis Anderson's back.
Henne looks for the end zone, throws, Arrington, touchdown. Whatever you can do, I can do better. 4th and 10. Pressure coming. Tebow trying to stay alive. Throws it down the middle, tipped it incomplete. Tebow couldn't get anything on it. And Lloyd Carr will go out as a victory. 28 years as a Michigan football coach, the last 13 as the head man. You love to see a guy ride off in the sunset, especially someone as admired as Lloyd Carr, to be able to leave with a victory in the last game of his career.
Appalachian State has won back-to-back national titles, trying to win a third. Daniel Kilgore's fumble recovery in the end zone has given them a 3-touchdown lead. They're 2-time national champs, but got more national notoriety for that opening season win at Michigan when they were the first FCS team ever to beat a ranked FBS team, and they did it on the road in the Big House against then 5th-ranked Michigan. And Jerry Moore said, that was a great win in so many ways. But that's not what we're about, beating Michigan. We play to win national championships.
Well, he told us yesterday that it's not going to die. And he's right. It's never going to die. The accomplishment that they did is something that's going to live with them forever. And the players will live with it forever. So you might as well embrace it.
Edwards going deep. One-on-one coverage. It's caught. It'll be a touchdown for Dexter Jackson. No flags. Two of the other brothers played college football. Richardson in the end zone. Touchdown, Appalachian State. Well, a fitting ending to his career. The national title will be won, and he'll score 3 more touchdowns.
There we say the word dynasty. They've done this, Sean, with 63 scholarships. Both coaches agreed that's very difficult to maintain a high standard.
Appalachian State really had control of the game throughout. Jackson carries, and there won't be another play. History made by Appalachian State. They win an unprecedented third straight national championship.
Robert Smith will join us just a couple of moments from now. And of course, the story today, Rich Rodriguez leaving West Virginia for Michigan.
Today, according to Fox 2 in Detroit, Rich Rodriguez has been fired as Michigan head football coach, 15-22 during 3 seasons in Ann Arbor.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased and proud to introduce the head football coach of the University of Michigan, Brady Hoke.
Today I informed Brady Hoke that he will not be returning as our football coach next year.
It is the day the Michigan fans have waited years for. Jim Harbaugh coming home and has become the university's 20th head football coach.
Jim Harbaugh.